Welcome to 3 Minute Thoughts. So I figured I'd talk about motorcycles. Why not? It's kind of a story time, lots of little stories. Because motorcycles have been a big part of my life, even though I do not know how to drive a motorcycle. Now, as kids, my parents both had motorcycles. They were both civilian military. My mom was a teacher who taught soldiers how to read and write, and my dad, electrical engineer for the Army. And they used to ride around with other military types for fun. So they both had their own motorcycles. I think there's actually 3 motorcycles in the garage at one point. But they had their own motorcycles, and they'd ride around that way. And so I've ridden on the back of a motorcycle. That was fun. But it just didn't strike my interest. Now my sister and my brother both learned how to drive motorcycles. And I don't know when they stopped. My brother had a motorcycle when he was in Germany. I'm sure he'll comment and tell me what's up with that. I don't believe he has one now. I don't know. I know my sister doesn't have one. But my dad, when he was younger than me, so he was probably about, I'd say 42, he was rear-ended while he was just parked at a light. Just a car bumped him, threw him about 50 yards or 50 feet, threw him a good distance. So it was more than a light tap. It was enough to break his collarbone. So that was the end of his motorcycle days. Don't know why my mom quit, but probably for the same reason as my dad's not riding, there's no reason to ride as well. And then my cousin, Ron, was a Harley mechanic. I'm not sure if that was his full-time job. He was trained as a Harley mechanic, and he was big into motorcycles. And then it was when I was at my second Burns. This is probably 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. I feel like this is 2010. He was in an accident and he passed away. So there's a sad thing there. But it was while I was out in the desert where I had no signal, no cell phone, no contact. I didn't find out until a week later when I was leaving, when I actually had signal again, that had happened. But for his memorial, which I wasn't able to make, like the local, there's a good 100, 200 motorcyclists, as I understand, who just drove around the neighborhood to memorialize him because he was known in the motorcycle community. I've never really had an interest, still I don't have an interest in motorcycles. I've got a very good friend who's got an electric motorcycle. He's always in driving around the neighborhood, so kudos for him. I just feel Seattle's too wet for that kind of thing. Yeah, kudos to people who ride motorcycles. I applaud you. It's just not something that I've had a desire for. I like having stability. I like having 4 wheels on the ground. I was going to say 4 feet on the ground, but 4 wheels on the ground. But those are my thoughts. Not much else to say about it. Anyway, have a good day. Thanks.